Hi, today we're going to make Tex-Mex dip. For this dip, you'll need the following ingredients: 3 ripe avocados, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 cup sour cream, and you can use light sour cream if you want, 1/2 cup mayonnaise, 3 chopped tomatoes, 1 package taco seasoning mix, 1 can of refried beans, 1 large bunch of green onions with tops, 2 cans chopped ripe olives, and about 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar. And we've got all our ingredients ready, and we're going to start by taking our 3 avocados and mashing them up and putting them in this bowl, which we'll mix with a couple other ingredients. Okay, we've got our avocados mashed into a nice paste mixture here, but it's hard to get them completely mashed unless you add a couple other things too. So right now we're going to put in some lemon juice, which will help make the mixture a little easier to mash, and it should get out some of these finer chunks that you see in the avocados here. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice along with some salt and pepper. Okay, so now we've got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you can adjust these accordingly if you like it to be a little more or less salty or flavorful. So now we're going to finish mashing them into a fine mixture. We've got our avocados all mashed up. The next thing we're going to do is combine the sour cream and mayonnaise and taco seasoning in a separate bowl. So we've got our sour cream, mayonnaise, and taco seasoning, and we're going to mix these up real good here. Alright, so we've got that whipped into a nice even mixture here. And we're ready to start putting this all together actually. We're going to take our refried beans and use them as the base of the whole dip. I like to use refried beans for this, just a regular can of refried beans. And I like to use the no-fat variety. It's up to you though. Some people like to use cans of bean dip for this, and you can kind of play around with this however you want to. Kind of personalize it if you want. But the no-fat refried beans make it a little bit healthy, especially with all the sour cream going into it. Alright, so you can see I've got a nice even layer of beans across the bottom. And after that comes the avocado mixture, and after that comes the sour cream and mayonnaise mixture. So we're going to spread on the avocado mixture. Okay, so we've got our avocado mixture, and after that comes the mayonnaise, sour cream, and taco dip mixture, taco seasoning mixture. Okay, now we've got that taken care of. And the last thing we're going to do is cut up the onions and cut up the tomatoes, and we've already got our chopped olives, and we're just going to sprinkle those across the top to kind of create another layer on top of the existing layers. You can use as much or as little of this as you want. For instance, this package of onions, we don't really need to use all of it, but if you want to use more or less, it's up to you. Okay, so I've got my onions cut up, and now I'm just going to sprinkle them on top of the mixture I've got here. Alright, so I've got my layer of onions. And next I'm going to cut up my tomatoes and put those on too. Some people are a little choosy about their tomatoes, and that's fine. These are Roma tomatoes, and I've got 3 of them that I'm going to use. But if you like your hothouse or another variety of tomatoes, that's fine too. And again, this is sort of up to you as far as how much you want to use. 3 Roma tomatoes might be equal to 2 hothouse or something like that. So this dip, I guess the key is personalization. Make it how you want to make it. And these are just some ingredients that you can use. Okay, we've got all our tomatoes in. Now there's only 2 steps left, the olives and the cheese. Okay, now I like to use these cans of crushed olives, but again, if you prefer to cut your own up or use a different style of olives, like some people prefer the olives that are just cut instead of crushed or chopped like these, and that's fine. It's kind of up to your own personal preference. Okay, we've got our olives on, and there's a nice sort of even layer of olives, and the last step is the cheese. So I've got some pre-grated here. I prefer to take a block of cheese and shred it as opposed to buying the pre-shredded cheese. I find that this is actually a little more moist, and it seems a little more fresh and flavorful than the pre-shredded cheese. But if you prefer the pre-shredded cheese, I know you can get that in varieties like a Mexican blend or different types of pre-shredded, and instead of just plain old cheddar. So that might be an option as well, but I've always done this with just shredded cheddar cheese. I think we need to add a little more. You never know how much cheese you're going to need until you actually start making this. This ought to do it. And we are finished with our Tex-Mex dip. I believe it might be 6 or 7 layer dip, I'm not sure. The only thing left is to serve it, and for that you need tortilla chips. Now for the chips, I recommend these Santitas. They're cheap, they're $2, or sometimes they have them on sale for $1.75. And I think they taste better than the Tostitos or a lot of other chips, and I've tried a lot of chips with this dip. So I recommend these Santitas. One batch of dip, probably take about 2 bags of these chips. So there you go. That's your Tex-Mex dip. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you like making it, and we'll see you later.